Boys and girls, we're going to be reading two texts today about the life cycle of a sea turtle. How does the sea turtle begin its life? Okay, I want you to turn to your turn and talk. How does the sea turtle begin its life?
It goes out of its egg and then it crawls out, and then some of them out. If it's broad daylight, if it's broad daylight, like when they're going out to sea, either a crab or
All right, turn to me in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, who can tell me, how does a sea turtle begin its life? Cohen?
In an egg.
In an egg, and how did they describe that egg? How did they describe that egg? Cambry? Leathery. They described it as leathery. Very good job. Okay, so in this part of my story, we've started here, and we've got a nest of leathery eggs. I know personally that I will never go back to teaching the same way that I was before, and I'm very proud to say that, and that my students will never, I'm going to get emotional. Whew, sorry. It's getting stronger. What else is happening to her? Who can add to that? All right, who can add to that, Price?
she's growing.
She's growing, and so that's the next detail, actually, that I'm going to put on my chart up here. I've got the sea turtle is growing and swimming in the ocean. Okay, nice job. All right, who can think of one of our words that we've talked about this week already that kind of describes what's going on here in this part of the text? All right, Kella?
The organism is trying to get away from the other bigger organism.
And what is that that shark right here?
The big organism.
Yes.
The
Price?
shark is the predator.
Oh, it is the predator. And what about that sea turtle? What is she? Molly?
Prey.
The prey. All right. And going back to why is she going out to sea? Why is she going out there? Cohen?
So she won't get eaten by the shark.
Oh, she's trying to survive. She doesn't want to get eaten by her predator. All right, excellent job. Their engagement was incredible. They were right there with me the entire time. I mean, right in that text with me, right in the story with me, and adding in as much as they possibly wanted to and could. The turtle swims deep under the water for almost 2 hours. But before she comes up to breathe, she swims below a fishing boat. Suddenly, she finds herself trapped in a net. Each time she tries to swim away, her flippers scrape the sides of the net and almost get tangled in the woven nets. She bumps into metal bars, clunk. Shrimp and small fish swim through the slots between the bars, but the turtle is much too big. She swims over them and finds an escape door at the bottom. Soon she is at the surface of the ocean, taking in big gulps of fresh air. So what changes have you noticed as the sea turtle has grown into an adult? Okay, what changes have you noticed over these past few pages that we've been looking at? All right, turn to your turn and talk.
She's getting she's getting bigger, smarter. She's getting bigger. She's like a little mouse, and then she's 300 pounds, and everybody on her
All right, so what are some changes that you're noticing as this sea turtle is growing? All right, what are some things that you're noticing? Kella?
That she's evolving into her natural habitat. She's getting used to where she's been and where she hasn't been. Because when she was starting out, she wasn't really used to where her habitat was because she's been in that egg the whole time. But when she goes out, she gets bigger and bigger, she evolves and knows where everything is.
Does anybody think I could organize these in a different way? Layton, how else could I organize this?
You could do one could be on one side, and then it could keep going over to the right.
Okay, Cicely, you just had an idea.
You can do it like a paragraph.
Okay, I could write a paragraph about the life cycle of a turtle, couldn't I? What else could I do, Kella?
You could take the last one, a mother turtle digs a hole in a deep egg chamber and put it at top so it explains the reproducing of the turtle.
All right, I could move that one up to the top. Okay. Can anybody think of some of the pictures that we've seen in some of our other texts and our anchor text that maybe could help us with this? You might think of a picture they've seen in that anchor text. Let's go back and look at that. Let's go back and look. See what we see something. Okay. How was my life cycle in this text? How is that organized on that page? How has that author decided to organize that? Cicely?
By words, and it's going through a circle, like the circle of life.
Okay, excellent. So it's going through a circle. Okay, so what could I do with these Post-it notes? Bryce?
Like, put them in a circle?
I could put them in a circle and make them just like the other life cycle diagrams that we've looked at, huh? Let's see if we can do that together.
Why don't you add the arrows to show that that it's going in order of a life cycle of a turtle?
Oh, that is an excellent idea. So let me add those arrows to our chart here to show that I've got a cycle going on. We're going to try this again, and I really noticed that whenever you were doing that partner reading, that you guys were reading in chunks and phrases. And when we read, we put words in chunks and phrases to help us read a little bit more fluently. So let's try this page again, and let's try and do with a little bit more phrasing like we did when we were partner reading on the page before. Okay? Let's go. She outgrows her nursery. Nobody sees her leave, but when you look for her, she has vanished all the same. Okay, you did a much better job of phrasing and chunking those words together. Nice job. Now, who noticed any words in this text that we might could have added to our chart this morning? Sam, what'd you notice?
The nursery.
Ah, why could we add? Why would you want to add that to our chart? Go ahead.
Because in between a leather full of eggs and she quickly goes back to the ocean, and the turtle is growing.
As they have implemented the Read to Be Ready practices through the unit starters as a resource, the students are much more engaged. The writing has improved tremendously. Teachers are collaborating in their planning.
Okay, now we're going to get to put these two texts together, okay, and we're going to get to do a group task all together. All right, for your group work today, if you will look at my purple chart up here on the front, okay, you guys are going to get to illustrate and draw and write about all the different life cycles of a sea turtle. In addition to illustrating that stage, you're also going to give me a sentence about that stage, letting me know what happens during that stage of the life cycle. Okay, so in your group, you're going to get a white piece of paper where you're going to get to illustrate your stage. You're also going to get a sentence strip that you're going to write on, and I'm also going to give you some text from our stories for you to go back to help you with some of those details if you'd like to add some of that in.
I'd like to write in a sentence.
Right. Which stage of the life cycle do you guys have?
That you're going to just read it. Let's read it.
Okay, somebody want to read that? Let's read the text down here. Sam, let's start on this page. Okay, so what is the mother turtle doing here?
She's baby and she's laying her eggs.
Oh, is she laying them yet?
No, she's digging the hole first.
She's digging the hole. So was that one of our stages that we talked about this morning? Okay, so how could we word that? How could we word that part of the stage?
She's digging her hole
Okay,
for her.
so what kind of a sea turtle lays eggs? It's not just a
girl.
Okay, so she would be a what? Okay.
No, a male.
Chloe's my daughter, so
a
that
female?
makes me a what?
Mom.
A mother, okay?
female?
So how could we say with using the word mother?
Mother is digging a hole.
Ah,
The
here we
mother
go.
is digging a hole for her eggs.
That's good. Okay, so I think that's a great way to put what Presley and Jaden both said together.
We're doing this for our.
Okay. So what's going on in this stage? What is she doing here?
She's digging the hole and laying her egg.
Okay, now she's already dug the hole, so what is she doing here?
She's laying her eggs.
She's laying her eggs, okay? Perfect. So what should be in our picture here?
The underwater laying her eggs in the hole.
Does she lay her eggs under the water? Where does she lay those eggs?
Her laying the eggs in the sand.
In the sand, okay? Remember, because she went back to the what?
The same island she was born at.
Same beach, that same island that she was born in, okay? So that's where we're going with this.
If she laid her eggs in the water, it would die.
Happening it right now.
The mother turtle is laying her eggs,
That's
and
great. Okay, who's going to write that on the sentence strip? Okay, so Liberty, are you helping her? Okay, so Avery, why don't you sit over here where I'm at and help Cohen make sure that he's coming up with that good sentence and doing a nice job on that, okay?
ma'am.
All right, thank you.
I would put some yellow on it. Thanks for
So the sea turtle is growing and swimming in the ocean.
she's done the drawing.
Okay, can you skip back? Let me see what you have here. Okay, and so what is she doing in this stage? Yes, she's growing, but what was she doing back in our story?
Here's two things. She was getting bigger.
And where was she?
in the sea.
In the sea, swimming. Okay, so could we maybe make that our drawing? Her swimming in the ocean? Okay, how would that look on your paper?
Like there would be water everywhere
Uh-huh.
around her.
Perfect.
And she would be growing.
In the middle of it, right? Just swimming around. Okay, perfect. Can you flip that over and draw that for me? I've got some words up here that are highlighted, okay? Does anybody notice anything about those highlighted words? I want you to take just a minute to look at them and think about it first. All right, what do you notice about the highlighted words? All right, Presley?
They all have vowels.
Okay, they all have vowels. Good. What else do you notice? Can you go a little bit more with that? What do you notice about those vowels?
They're either together and in bite, it's separate. They all have long vowels.
Oh, they all have long vowels. Exactly right. So each group is going to get a bag of words, and at your desk, you're going to sort these. And I'm not going to tell you how to sort these. I'm going to see if you guys can figure out how to sort these.
Can you explain how these
So what are our vowels? A, E,
do not
I,
know
O, and U.
what
Okay.
pattern
So how do
these
you
are
think
in.
we might could sort these words?
The long O and the long U and the long E and the long I and the long A. That's what we just talked about on the carpet.
I. Okay. So what about
And they're all spelled in different patterns, but they have the same O sound and the same U sound and the same E sound and the same I sound and the same A sound.
Let's do wheel again, and let's start out with that first sound, and then we're going to stop in the middle this time, okay? Here we go. W, E. Ooh, what sound do we hear there?
E.
Okay, we hear the E sound. And Price, what two letters are making that E sound in wheel?
E.
All right, the E. So I want you to write in the air while I write up here. Okay, perfect. All right, and let's go back. We're going to sound it out again. And this time we're going to stop at the end of the word. Okay, here we go. W, E, O. Ooh, what's that last sound that we hear in wheel? All right, Press it. Ooh. And what is the ooh sound? What is that? Connor?
L.
An L. Nice job. Remember, you're spelling in the air while I'm spelling up here. Boys and girls, today when we are in our stations and when we're reading and when we're doing our interactive read aloud together, I want you guys to be thinking about these words and these patterns that we've been talking about and those teams that are working together to make those sounds. And I'm going to see if you can maybe find some of those today as we're working. Planning for foundational skills has been definitely something that I have had a challenge with, because once I got in and started looking at those reading behaviors and thinking about my students and thinking about some of their assessment results and realizing how I could push them and get them where they needed to be based on those behaviors and taking them to that next step. All right, pause for just a minute. Look back at me. Okay, what are some things that you think you might learn from this text? Okay, Sam, what do you think something you might learn from this text?
On this page in the front, this page.
What page are you on? So we can all go to it. Okay. He's on page 8 and 9, so why don't you guys turn to page 8 and 9 with him so we can kind of see what he's talking about as he talks to us. So page 8 and 9.
I think.
Go ahead, nice and loud for us, okay?
I think this owl is getting in this cactus, and we're gonna learn about cactus owls.
Okay, maybe so. All right. Does anybody have any other things they thought that we might learn about while we read this text? All right, Jaden, what's something else?
That we might learn about this because it don't look like they were born like long ago. They look like they were just born.
Okay, look at page 12. So flip over to page 12. Page 12. One more for me.
Are these ostriches?
Okay, we're gonna look, okay? So say that again now that we're all looking at that picture. I want you all to look at that picture of those ostriches on page 12, okay? Go
I
ahead.
feel like we will learn about these because they don't look like they were born long ago. They look like they were just born like a few weeks ago.
Okay, perfect, great. All right, so this is a nonfiction text about birds and their life cycles and some things that are specific to these birds, okay? And we're going to use this to kind of help branch and pull in some of these other texts that we've been talking about in our unit of study, okay? So I want you to flip back actually, let's go to page 6 and 7 next. Let's look at that for just a minute. And thinking about small group instruction, the day that I got ready to plan for that, we had all this data sitting out in different areas. I had grouped my students the way that I thought they needed to be grouped. And then I started learning about the reading behaviors and where students can go from where they are and where we can take them with that. And looking at that data, thinking about those reading behaviors, I then needed to regroup my students. And based on what they needed in their instruction and where they needed to grow the most. And so that's how I grouped my students, and then we took them from there. I want everybody to go to that caption on page 5. Go to that caption on page 5. All right. All right, Sam, I want you to read that caption for me on page 5.
These are mute swan chickens.
Let's look at that word again. What word is that?
Chicks.
Chicks, okay. He said these are mute swan chicks. Is there a word in that sentence? Made me think about those foundational skills we talked about this morning. What was that word? What's one of those words?
Mute.
Mute. Why did you pick mute?
Because it has a long U.
It has a long U, okay? How do you know that it has a long U?
Because it sounds like the long U and
Okay, what do you notice about the word? How it's spelled. Look at that spelling of the word. What do you notice about that, Cambry? That the E's at the end. And what do we know, Jaden, about that E that's at the end?
The silent E will make the U say its name.
Okay, good. Avery, can you put your fingers on both of the number 2s for me on each one of those 2 pages? Yeah. We're looking at that one and that one over there, but at the same time, that's stage number 2 there. All right, now Jaden, I want you to say that again now that we're all looking at the same pictures with you. What did you just say?
I can see how they're like both like crawling out of their eggs
Good, nice job. As I read as a reader, I really think it's important that I make sure that I pick up on all these text features that I'm seeing in the story, okay? It really helps me understand the story and helps me understand what's going on. Why do you think that the author wrote this book for us? Why do you think that the author wrote this text?
So we can know more facts about birds.
Okay, so we can know more facts about birds. Why do you think he chose to put all these really cool text features in this text? Why would he even do that? Jaden?
Because like Sam said, he wants to learn more about birds. He might want other people to learn more about birds too and know what the birds are.
Oh, ooh, she just picked up on something.
If I were to talk to a new a leader who was bringing this to their teachers for implementation, first I would say it is a challenge. It is a challenge for our teachers. This is a different way of thinking. Secondly, I would tell them to push for your teachers to do this for their students, that this is what our students need in order to be successful. And three, I would tell them that through that heartache and the dedication that their teachers put forward, to know that their students are benefiting from that more so now than I've ever seen in my experience as an educator.
Are you